Hello there, Lester Yanovich here for another edition of Wednesday's Wonders. Today's wonder actually occurred to me just yesterday. I made the mistake of looking in the mirror and I was startled. I looked around and about and I thought there was some old coot behind me trying to pickpocket my pants. Only to discover, of course, that old coot was, well, Lester. And it made me start to think, what happened to young Lester? I mean, from the inside looking out, I still feel like young Lester, but it appears that from the outside forward that young Lester has either disappeared or perhaps he was kidnapped by those youth-sucking vampires. But they're out of the house now and all grown up, so doesn't seem quite right that they left me here to deal with all of this at the time. Because, you know, there was a day when having some age about oneself meant that you were wise, yes, and had some character and some experience. Whereas now I'm starting to believe that, well, having some age about yourself is kind of like yesterday's lunch. Well, it's either forgotten about or it's quickly disposed of, if you know what I mean. But when I think about it deeper, I think, well, you know, young Lester, well, for example, when my lovely wife, better known as Red Hot Chili Pepper, first met young Lester, well, to be honest, I think he was a bit of a moron. I mean, he had tight skin and all, and no bags about the eyes, and no lines, and all of that kind of stuff. However, if Red Hot Chili Pepper had looked deep into the eyes of young Lester, he would have probably seen a fairly vacant room filled with maybe some nudie magazines, some sports paraphernalia, or some old VHS porno tapes and all. Whereas now, when Chili Pepper looks into these eyes, she sees a lifetime of enrichment. So it occurred to me that, well, maybe we should have a wonder that is, I wonder what we can do to make old cool again. Sounds nice. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, I think that pony broke its leg a long time ago, and I, for one, I'm not going to bet my $12 retirement fund on a three-legged pony, if you know what I mean. But being a smart chimp, I'm going to swing to the other tree. So I'm going to change that wonder, and today's wonder is going to be, I wonder what it takes to look young again. And I'll do that. I'm going to take a short break here, and I'll be right back, and we'll analyze this and possibly come up with some solutions on I wonder what it takes to just be young again. Hello, I'm back, and yes, I've given this question quite a bit of study while I was gone, and let's start with, well, the obvious. What can we do to look younger again was our wonder, was it not? Well, the first thing let's talk about is that, well, we have available to us various lotions, salves, and creams. Yes, we've seen them all. I mean, they've all advertised on television and various magazines and things like that, and why, they guarantee that if we'll use them and such, that we'll look decades younger within weeks, sometimes even days. Can you imagine? Oh, and it's all right there for us to take. Well, to purchase, of course, but either way. But my question with that is, well, if they actually worked, these little youth in a bottle kind of things, if they actually worked, we'd all buy them, would we not? And if we did, well, why the hell do we all still look so damn old? Makes you wonder. I don't doubt that. The other obvious thing that's out there and is quite available at a price, of course, is, well, cosmetic surgery. Yeah, it seems to be quite fashionable these days to have cosmetic surgery in various places, but yes, even one's face and such. And well, the problem with it, there's a couple of problems that I can think of. One is, well, it's quite pricey. And well, I'd have to dip into the old $12 retirement fund to go pretty deep in that to get the necessary embellishments to give me that young Lester look yet again. So, the other problem with cosmetic surgery is, well, there can be some risk to it. I mean, what if they actually disturb some of the natural, yet Lester characteristics, shall we say? Well, that wouldn't be good, and quite frankly, it would make my lovely wife, better known as Red Hot Chili Pepper, quite upset, and I'd probably then have to take some of that $12 retirement fund and invest in a bail bondsman of sort, depending on who she was blaming for the problem, of course. She might have to cash it out just to, pay for my funeral services if they disrupted any of this natural stuff, what I'm talking about. So those are the things that are available to us. So I think not a good option for me. But let's ask this. Let's if I can get this up. Let's think outside the box. Yes. Let's get creative, shall we? So I think the first thing that I thought about, and again, stepping outside the box, is, well, what if we changed the fashions? What if we could start a campaign, for example, to make it very fashionable to wear a very comfortable mask when you're out and about? You're out and about, put on your mask. That's right. When you come home, take it off and feel comfortable, just like we do our clothes every day. When you're out, hello, my name's Lester. When I'm home, hey, just me, Lester. Things like that. Now, before you dismiss that idea, I want you to think about it, because once again, this is outside the box and it's not for everybody. But if we could just get this going, for example, we could have, say, all kinds of masks. We could have a mask of the day. It could be like getting up in the morning and going to the closet and, oh, which mask shall I wear today? Oh, I haven't worn you in a while. I hope you fit. A mask of the day. Mix it up. You can feel special every day with various masks that you wear. We could have a holiday mask, for example, for 4th of July, very festive mask, all sorts of colors. We could have a Cinco de Mayo mask and put a little salsa in your soul mask. There again, yes, we could have a specialty mask. It's your birthday. Put on your birthday mask. That's right, everybody you see would wish you a happy birthday because you're wearing your birthday mask. Oh, how special could that be? Having a baby? Oh, it's a girl. Oh, congratulations, you had a girl. They know that because you're wearing your mask, your specialty mask. Oh, the other thing we could do, we could have mood mask. Imagine that. You could be out and about and wearing your happy mask. I'm happy. Or you could be out and about saying, leave me the hell alone mask, People, oh, don't want to talk to him. He's wearing the leave me the hell alone mask. Or perhaps we could have a horny mask. Oh, how special would that be? Come home after a hard day of business or whatever it is you're doing, and your significant other, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, they're wearing a horny mask. Oh, how nice would that be? I guess in all fairness, though, we should probably have a I'm not in a mood mask. And to be quite honest, on my part, I'm going to take that $12 retirement fund and invest in that I'm not in the mood mask, because I think it's going to sell quite well, don't you? So if we just wore the mask, there's several advantages to it. Not only do we get to look younger and going about and all that kind of things, but we save a lot of money. Save money on the cosmetics and the lotions and those kinds of things. Not to mention women, every day when you get up, you don't have to put on makeup anymore. You just pick out your favorite mask and go out and about. Sounds like a good idea to me. The only problem is I think it's going to take, well, just a little while to catch on, don't you? So then I thought, well, what else can we do? We've gone through 3 items so far, and I got to be conscious of my time. So the other thing I thought, well, aging or looking old is somewhat of a handicap. Even though I don't get to park in a handicapped parking place for it, it's still somewhat of a handicap. And when we have handicaps, well, we develop prosthetic devices. That's correct. So why don't we develop a prosthetic device for aging skin, for example? Well, it's easy for the eyes, of course. You just design a special glasses that you can put on, and it just covers it up, But what about this saggy skin? Well, how simple could it be to get something to just pull it up? Something simple, like some strapping tape of sort that just pulls it up. Then you have young Lester, old Lester. Young Lester, old Lester. When I go out and about, young Lester. When I get home, just Lester. Sounds like an interesting idea to me, and I think perhaps that would catch on. Not to mention I could probably fill that little $12 retirement fund with a few more pennies, if you know what I mean. So all that being said and done and all, I guess we need to come to a conclusion. Well, given everything I've said, while I was pondering this, I did come up with a conclusion, and then what I've decided is that the one thing I've learned about aging is that as you age, you learn to, well, you just don't give a crap about things that don't matter a whole bunch. So as long as I'm comfortable with Lester, old Lester, and more importantly, as long as Chili Pepper is very comfortable with Lester, then I don't give a crap what everybody else thinks, you know what I mean? So I can stay at home, be Lester, and all things are good. And for the young people out there, well, you know, I don't like to give advice, but let's call it guidance. Shall we call it guidance? And my guidance would be, well, just go about doing your business and do what you have to do. But in the long run, I think when it comes to older people like myself, I need you to just buck up and shut up and accept it. Can you do that? I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that very much. Because you know, if you're lucky, I mean you're really lucky, then you too will one day be here looking from the inside out as well. So with that, I'll leave you with this Wednesday's Wonder. Until next Wednesday when we have another Wednesday Wonder, I wonder what that'll be. Just a quick follow-up from our recent discussion. I just have to say that I went to the local market recently and came back with quite good results on our new prosthetic device. Now granted, I didn't have any strapping tape, but I find that industrialized duct tape did just the same. And I must say that I got quite a bit of attention. Why, even the store clerks helped me out when I needed something. And even the young ladies, they walked by smiling and giggling at me. I think they were flirting with me.